Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. Things are grim. I've said a lot of words in the history of the channel about failure and how failure is not a bad thing, provided, of course, that the thing you're failing at doesn't have serious life-ruining consequences. It's a beautiful thing about video games, they very rarely do. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't pretty demoralized after what happened last episode. But, you know, we have to take from it what we can take from it, allow it to be instructive, learn some things, and go back in. I do think that my strategy last time was relatively sound, but I intentionally chose a strategy that had a little bit more variance than like a man-at-arms type strategy, because there were other benefits that I was aiming for, and when you take variance into your plan, then, you know, there's variance in your plan, and sometimes some stuff will happen. So we got to go back, right? We can't end the game without it. We really need to not lose anybody else, but it's not 100% in our hands. Here's the thing, though. This is the party I want to use. This is a very unusual strategy, and it totally might kill us. But I want to do this. We can't, though. We can't take Dudley in there. Dudley has too much stress. It's too dangerous. So, we're going to de-stress Dudley. Dudley, what's your deal? Do you care particularly? You won't meditate? Okay. Right, you won't meditate. I just read that. I just read that you won't meditate. What is wrong with me? And what we're going to do instead of running the dungeon, what is the disease that she has? Vampiric spirits, minus 50% debuff resist. That would be neat to get rid of. I guess she can get rid of her own disease during the dungeon. That's kind of her thing. Yeah. I don't know. So, the important thing is we're not going back in right now. So, first of all, let's look at these guys and see what traits I would like to remove from them. Fragile could go. Plus 20% stress versus beast is actually a problem. Right? We're about to be fighting some beasts. Some scary beasts. So, Fragile is also a problem. Which one of these is more likely to lead to a serious issue? Honestly, probably the Fragile, right? Probably. If he stresses out, it's not nearly as bad as most people stressing out. Herbert, do you have anything that needs to be removed? Actually, no. None of your negative traits are meaningful at all in the dungeon, so that's good. And Fitzroy... we could get rid of this. That would be okay. So, most of our crew is leveled up, geared up, skilled up, but we're pretty low on money now. We've managed to get back down to low on money. So, while all this stuff is happening, let's go and do a money run. And we're going to need to bring another healer up to the big leagues no matter what we do, so we're going to do a yellow mission. This is a long 100% of room battles mission. That is asking for trouble. It's a lot of money, but it's way too likely that something goes horrifically wrong there. So let's do something like... I know I said we're doing a money run. I'm not bringing the antiquarian. It's too dangerous, man. The thing is, we could absolutely lose people here, and we are close enough to the loss from too many deaths trigger that I don't want to risk things like that. So I'm going to give you your range stun. The nice thing about these people that come in already leveled have the maximum gear and skills for their level, so that's pretty cool. What does this do? Oh yeah, this lets him pull bleeds and blights onto himself and then toughen himself up considerably. Let's do this. I know I'm being boring. I'm like using the same skill loadouts over and over again, but I like these skill loadouts. They're good. I am not, of course, beyond the idea that I might not be doing the optimal thing, but I'm hoping that I have some idea what I'm doing here. Alright, so we lost some trinkets, but we still have some good stuff. You could take... Well, we need accuracy on him a lot, because we want to be able to land his stuns. This has a 20% damage penalty, which is significant, and it would be cool if we could offset it a little bit while getting extra damage. Yeah. So he's plus 10 accuracy, minus 5% damage, but all that stuff. Yeah. And none of these guys are vampires. They come in clean. So we don't have to worry about the fanatics showing up and ruining everything for everybody. I am going to give her the Ancestor's Portrait. We want her to level up quickly. We got to get her to a good place. And then probably Book of Sanity. And for you... do like damage and also damage and speed. Makes him less likely to land his stuns, but, you know, we're going to be trying to kill people, hopefully. And you could take like some accuracy and... plus damage is good, but not amazing. I wish I knew what the other item in this set was. I do think we have to be concerned about... yeah, we really don't have a lot of good items, huh? We have to be concerned about infection. But our blood supplies are holding for now. The Vintner's got us under control. You know what? Let's just give him more accuracy and also some crit, I guess. And they have all of their camping skills? No, they just have a random selection of 4. Well, as long as we have Sanctuary available... Okay, she doesn't have it equipped, but she does have it learned. That's interesting. These are all pretty reasonable. I like weapons practice a lot, though. I'll cut pep talk from him, too. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go explore 90% of the rooms in this place. Actually, before we go, I should make sure that we have as much money. Like, we've sold all the stuff that I think there's absolutely no chance we're going to use, so that we can make a little bit of extra interest off of our bank. I don't know, a lot of this stuff is totally stuff we might use, especially since clearing the darkest dungeon is guaranteed not to be the end of the game, because we know we're going back for the courtyard anyway. Alright, do this. It's the ruins, so probably only 2. You know what, we'll bring a bunch of shovels, because there are curios that can be broken open with shovels. A key or 2, just in case the game wants to be real nice and give us a secret room. Some medicinal herbs, and I think that's... Oh no, we should bring holy water too. Yeah, we're going to end up throwing some of this away probably. Well, we wanted to be traveling relatively light, but... food, torches, shovels. Yeah, good. Okay. So we are level 3, not level 4, which means that we're a little bit less powerful than I would like to be for doing a money run through a yellow dungeon, but what can we do? We're all 3s and 6s over here. Yeah, I'm nervous, man. We're in a position... We're 3/4 of the way through the timer, and we're only a few deaths off of the allotted death amount. Okay, so this room's a free explore. I mean, I guess not totally free. We have to walk back through this corridor, which means potentially... Here, I'm gonna... do this. I don't know that she needed the damage buff worse than anybody else, but I'm thinking... Ooh. I'm thinking that the Bounty Hunter has a lot of damage buffs. It may be superfluous on him, and that direct damage buffs aren't really the best thing on a Flagellant. And I do so very much love to use Judgment and just blow people up, you know? Nobody read those. I guess I should probably have looked at their negative traits before bringing them in here, because I don't have any idea what they are. Ah.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
Well, that's an awful lot of torches used already. Alright, looks like a 2-hallway scout. Nope, never mind. I was about to say the size of the circle that blossoms out from the room, I think indicates how good the scout was. Sometimes it's bigger and sometimes it's smaller, but it sure doesn't look right at this point. Alright, he gets one too. Like I said, the bounty hunter may have so much plus damage that additional plus damage is superfluous, because he may just kill most of the things he hits anyway. Yeah, we have a sun ring, so we do really want to keep our light above 75. Okay, not totally ideal. I'm gonna pull her. Oh, she resisted the move. Well, she's still stunned. Maybe we can kill her before she gets an action off. These two can start work up here. So you're at 11? We can do 11. Wow. Can we ever? And now she's been moved up into bounty hunter and flagellant range. Right, as long as flurry of claws doesn't crit you, it's really not a very dangerous attack. Now she has 8 speed. Actually, they all have pretty high speed. Okay, well, that is a stun that, alright, failed to land.
Their formation is broken.
And hey, we rolled well on speed.
Offensive.
Lucky us.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Oh, and these guys are not stun resistant at all. In fact, we can almost certainly keep him stunned for 2 turns. Give us a little bit of healing time. Wow. Alright. Yeah, it's a little bit cheesy. I'm not going to tell you it's not.
A singular strike.
Nice. Guess we'll consolidate stress a little bit, because I don't want to kill this guy accidentally. Just burn in time until the Vestal's turn. Man. The odds of that attack killing were basically nothing. Wow, really? I'm not sure if we're going to get... I don't think... Oh man, when did the other guys die? You know what? Let's just kill him.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Oh, a seer stone. Neat. That's a good trinket. Hey, it's... Sorry, it's not a good trinket. It's fine. My concern there was that with the Vestal going last in the round, we might not have been able to heal without taking the stalling penalty. And obviously I have strong feelings about that. So we are going to be in a little bit of a position here as far as light goes. There's a lot of backtracking this dungeon. Please don't howl. Okay. Alright, that is totally fine. It looks like he's under half now. Yes, he is. Awesome. So I'm going to let him do his thing. You have 70%. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, sorry, commentary's a little flat right now. I can hear it, and I'm panicking about it in my head, but I can't quite manage to do anything. Yeah, I took a long weekend. I got out of the groove. I hope everybody had a good, a good holiday weekend for those of us in the U.S., and just a generally good weekend for everybody else.
Surgical precision.
Okay, not too hard. Alright, that's fine. It's okay to hit him, just, be gentle with him right now. He's feeling a little fragile. We're definitely giving the ghoul the big punch. He is now bleeding for 13, so... Alright, problem solved. Problem solved, and nobody's even freaking out or dying or anything. Okay. So... we're close enough to running out of deaths. Ooh, that was lucky. And actually, the additional torch is also very lucky. Let's drop stuff we know we don't need anymore. Oh yeah, we're close enough to the running out of deaths that actually, even just bad stuff happening here while we're leveling up the Vestal could actually completely ruin the game for us. We have to be careful and also a little bit lucky. We're in a place where we can't really afford the variance that we normally are forced to put up with. Oh. Stuff like that. Boy, I really hope nobody gets infected. We have so much walking left to do, and we do not have any blood on us. Come on, don't miss. There we go. He resisted the bleed, though. If the bleed had landed, that attack was almost his entire HP. Hell yeah, 20% damage buff. That attack would have been non-lethal otherwise. Alright, you are not going to kill this mosquito in one hit, probably. So let's just do that. I haven't really been paying too much attention to our blood supply. I think maybe I better get a handle on that. Well, I can't hit him easily anymore. What did we get him down to? 4.
Impressive.
Alright, the mosquitoes don't leave... Yeah, okay. They don't leave a corpse. So... retaliation might be able to do 4. Wow, this is really bad luck. 2 infections in one battle. Oh no! Well, maybe we'll get lucky and the mosquito will attack him on its turn. It did. And it did a really bad job. Just terrible. Well, this is inconvenient. I hope these guys drop some blood. Because we are far from finished here. Nope. They did drop rubies, though.
Momentum. Push on to the task's end.
We have 9 invitations. We probably do not need 9 invitations. No, don't open that. I wanted to open that on the way back. Well, it being a map actually makes that pretty good. I suppose we'll just push onward and do this room battle. We're still in pretty good spirits and everything. Ah, this is a good map. Okay, wow. There's really not that much fighting left to do in this place. Alright, I think we're alright. So we'll torch here, and then we won't torch after this. And we'll camp in this room to restore our light. Oh. Well, unfortunately, I don't think there's any chance we prevent these guys from getting their turn. They're both too fast. But everybody's in pretty good spirits. I think it shouldn't be a problem.
How quickly the tide turns.
Although, you know, sometimes they're going to attack us and do 35 stress. Spread out over the party. Alright. Let's try not to embarrass the entire hamlet by getting pushed around by a bunch of skeletons, huh, everybody? Can we maybe, like, just take this seriously? Yeah, okay, you know, that's not your fault. You can't bleed a skeleton. Okay, it's not exactly a great shuffle, but third row's fine. Third row will do. I could stun him, but if I do it, he'll move back, and I'm concerned that we then may miss out on the kill. So I'm just going to risk him getting another turn. Alright. Ooh, wow. Even the really bad enemies are getting crits. Might have a little something to do with the fact that he heard me calling them the bad enemies all these times.
Decimated.
Okay, would have been cool to, like, open with that, but I'll take it. I guess maybe I should be healing with her. Oh, no, never mind. It's fine. I'm just going to have him... This is so under control. I'm going to have him do a redeem. Let's get both these guys back on their feet. Oh, you crit the wrong one. Well, he almost died to the riposte.
As victories mount, So too will resistance.
Alright, so we will definitely burn all of our light on the way back to here, right? Actually, it looks like each backtrack space only takes one light off. Oh, wait. We saw the whole map and we know there's no blockages, actually. So I'm going to smash this cabinet open.
Beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
And we can now be, like, super aggressive with our shovels. Alright, the worst thing would be if we got a fight triggered in this hallway. Because I really don't want to have to light back up. In fact, well, we can't. We can't afford to. Once we run out of torchlight, we can replace his sun ring with that scouting stone that we picked up, so that's nice at least. Okay, a couple of traps, which should be really good for our bounty hunter, provided he actually manages to disarm them. I just tossed the holy water. Man. I probably should have... Yep, he failed to disarm.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
I don't think that being in the dark actually increases your chances of failing a disarm, but it sure seems like it, huh?
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Alright, so first things first, sanctuary up. Getting ambushed is the worst. And then... I like weapons practice a lot. How many people got crit? Nobody. Well, that's a shame. And then we can just drop 50 stress like it's nothing. Take a small increase to the chance that monsters will be surprised. And that's it, really. We can increase his speed by 3. You know what? Actually, yes. I would rather have 3 speed than a very small increase in surprise chance.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And remember, it doesn't actually decrease our chance of being surprised because that is already 0 due to us having pre-scouted the fights. Man, I guess this is what I get for bringing the flagellant to the ruins, but it still sucks every time we get into a fight and it's all skeletons.
Not be left unanswered.
The crit rate on these enemies lately is just bananas. Alright, so you are at 70% stun resist. Yeah, let's just make sure. I wanted to do that with him so that if his stun missed, we would still have a chance at it with the man-at-arms. Four? Come on, you can do better than 4. Alright, with a stun resist of 110, I didn't want to chance the man-at-arms. Or I didn't want to chance it with the bounty hunter. But I will go for it with the man-at-arms, because his stun chance is really, really high. Yeah, 170. Still better than 50% here. Okay, well, ooh, gets ground pound off.
Dizzying blow to body and brain.
And it stunned the healer. It's pretty bad. We have to get 34 damage on him. I don't know that we're going to be able to prevent him from getting an attack off. A crit would be very helpful. And I think I have to go with Judgment over Divine Gracing because we need all the damage we can get. 20. 20 is not impossible.
Prodigious size alone does not
Extremely not impossible, it turns out. Okay, we don't know for sure that there's no secret room. So maybe I don't want to use my key. Do I want to leave this here and maybe come back for it? You know what? Yeah, I actually think that is what I'm going to do.
If only treasure could staunch the flow.
Do I care about these? Not really. We need money more than we need anything else. Alright, and unless we find another torch, this will be our last fight at high enough light for the sun ring to be good. Alright, these two in the back are high priority, which pretty much always seems to be the case. We just need to bring only people who can hit the back. Ah, we didn't. Does it have a chance of pushing two, or is it always push one? I was hoping we could knock him back. No, it's always knock back one. I don't know what I'm thinking. I was hoping we could knock him back enough to move this guy into the third slot. Because for some reason, my stupid brain thought that was a thing. Listen, I don't actually read the skills all that often. I'm mostly just going off of memory. Alright, let's try to move this dude up. There we go.
Precision and power.
Alright, even though he wasn't going to get a turn, I'm still way more worried about him than I am about the bone ram.
Weaken.
Yeah, I don't know that that was a good use of your turn. Seems pretty bad, actually. I don't know, I guess I'm not here to give advice to skeletons. So we can throw the flashbang at him. There's a chance that it will shuffle him. I think the shuffle's completely random, meaning that they can end up in the same spot they're already in. So I think... I mean, like, throwing caltrops at him is pretty bad. I am just going to smash a corpse to move him up. That's a method of moving him up that is 100% guaranteed to work. %85% stun resist? Yeah, I'll try to stun with the man-at-arms if he goes early enough.
A decisive pummeling.
I mean, I guess it's decisive. Dude's gonna... It was decisive between the two options of we kill this guy without getting hit, or he hits one of us for 6 and then we kill him. It's not really a big deal.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely
Hey, you, look in there.
the light?
Oh wow, a full stack of gold. No more scouting. Why don't we do this? Alright. So we are at 86 light. So actually I think we'll be at 76 when we get to this fight. Oh no, we lost 7 light. Why 7? Alright, well I think we better do this. Oh hey!
Twisted and made merciless.
That's actually pretty welcome. The fight can be a little tricky, but he has good loot. Oh, there was a 60% chance of landing that stun. There is an 85% chance of landing this one. It'd be really cool if we could get like a... Really? Well, that is just bad luck. I'm gonna say it'd be really cool if we could get an early stun on him, especially with him already bleeding heavily. Let's try to work through this highwayman as quickly as possible. Okay. And I think we keep going for stuns. I mean, maybe we stun one of these. No. Let's try to get the collector not to produce any more heads. Okay, pretty much ideal. That buff is completely irrelevant because all the Man-at-Arms head does is guard people, and we'll be stunning him out of that nonsense. Alright, Collector's basically at half already. I think we got this. And he's human, so now that he's up in second rank, we do get bonus damage from Collect Bounty. Quite a bit, actually. And he's only at 100 and... Never mind. I was going to say, at 110% stun resist, I'm fine with having the Man-at-Arms go for a stun again. But now his stun resist is way, way down again. So he actually has 15 points of bleed on him, I think. I think it's 10 damage, and then one of them wears off, and then 5 damage. So we're pretty close. I think I'm not going to stun him. Let's hit him with a normal attack. We can totally do this. Unless the Vestal Head heals him, which she didn't. So we're good.
The ground quakes.
Okay, that's the end of that. As long as we make sure she doesn't get a heal off.
A predator is often blind to its own peril.
Wow. Well, okay then. I don't want to count my chickens before they've hatched here, but I think we may get out of this dungeon without even having to de-stress anybody manually. Although, actually, we're going to try a Darkest Dungeon mission between now and the next time we would run these characters, and that will, if successful, that will completely de-stress all of them anyway, so.
A momentary abatement.
How much more? There's only one more battle left in the whole dungeon, and actually we don't even have to do it. With 60% bleed resist, man. Okay, well we gotta get out of this fight, or we are gonna start getting pinged here. Really? This is our last turn. Do I want to? Yeah, I think this is worth doing.
Trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure we get to skip 2 rooms, which means we will finish the dungeon when we go here. And even with our extra scouting chance, we can't catch a break. Okay. It took so long for them to get to Craving that we're not in any danger. It feels weird not to be eager to pick up the heirlooms, but I really just don't think we ever need another heirloom. As long as we're not spawning combat on the walkbacks and neither of our guys are at wasting, I think we can push on at the very least clear this hallway. I don't think we'll be doing combat. Okay, so that doesn't do anything, and this is just loot. Nope, it's not. Oh no! Well, we got 10 spite out of stress, basically, from the dungeon at the end there.
Sloped walls of our ancestry are beginning to feel familiar.
That was alright for a money run. 25k. Okay, Early Riser's very good. Photomania's very good. And Last Gasp is pretty good on him. Why did you get 12 XP when everybody else... Yeah, 6 is what we should have gotten. 9 for Hote, because obviously she had the... Oh, you know why? Because when you fail the Darkest Dungeon run, it gives double XP on your next run, but it applies that as an effect to each person in the roster, so he must have hired these other 3 people after that
Know
happened.
the horrifying depths of their enquiries.
Yeah, 2 level 0 occultists, I'm not really interested. And a bunch of low-level people, also not interested. Okay, well, nobody from the party that we're planning to bring, got lost or went off on a bender or anything, so I guess we're moving forward. Man. Yeah, none of these are worth buying. Alright, obviously, we're not going to start this very difficult and potentially pretty long mission right now. But let's go ahead and get everybody in place. Hey, is this a way for me to chicken out of doing this mission right now? And thus, allowing me to drag out my suffering for another day? Yeah, basically, that's basically what I'm doing. You got me. Alright, let's at least, though, figure out what it is we want these people to be equipped with and stuff. So I suppose the danger here is that we still don't have a guard, which means that having only 3 talismans is pretty dangerous. And we do have Ballard on staff. We don't have a guard, but we could have a mark. No, it's not the same thing. Maybe we should run something that includes Ballard instead. Or even, how much stress do you have? 23? And you're nervous. Good traits, though. Yeah, maybe I should have a guard. I'll say this, though. During the fight with the 2 scorpion dudes, I don't really think that guard is a good idea, because I really do think that we have to be focused on killing one of them as fast as possible. Once one of them is down, using guard to cover everybody with talismans is a perfectly fine plan, but we really cannot afford to fight 2 of those guys for too long, because their attacks are so deadly. Flagellant has 73 base death blow resist. Everybody else has 67, by the way. Like, people dying as quickly as they've been dying in some of these situations is actually pretty crazy. The fact that the Jester went down on his first death blow check is just crummy luck. Yeah, alright. I think this is the party, so let's get equipped. The 3 people, it's going to be not the Flagellant, right? It's everybody but him. Because the Flagellant taking large amounts of stress and health damage is the most fixable. Or rather, him taking lots of stress damage is not fixable, but I don't care. It's less of a problem. So that being the case, it's certainly worse for him to take stress damage than health damage. Maybe we should give him the Coven Signet? So everybody gets like 1 good item. I think the Blasphemous Vial is a pretty obvious pick. For the Bounty Hunter, just damage, right? I don't want it to be the Wounding Helmet because we do want his stun to be available to us. So it's like Berserk Charm or maybe just an Eldritch Slayer's Ring? And not that dodge is a bad thing or anything, but... We could do Dismas's Head. Unfortunately, we lost our good... our candle and our pen were on the guy who we had to... the guy who died, and then we had to abandon. We could go Sun Ring. The dungeon's short enough that maintaining a highlight level shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, do I want to do Demon's Cauldron? I don't know that I've run Demon's Cauldron very many times. What's his stun skill chance? 110% base, so it's going to be like 160 or... Well, actually, let's just go see how it levels up. Because we got to do this anyway. So let's buy Hands from the Abyss. Yeah, it gains 10% per level. Oh yeah, but it only levels up 4 times, not 5. So it goes to 150. And that's pretty good, though. Weakening Curse is not bad. What are his skills going to be? They're going to be Sacrificial Stab and Reconstruction. Abyssal Artillery is not in. We'll take Hands from the Abyss. And then we could do Vulnerability Hex. We do have a guy who really benefits from that. We could do Demonic Pull. I don't think that's very good. Yeah, maybe we just Hex. Like, every once in a while we can trade one of this guy's turns for almost doubling the damage dealt by our Bounty Hunter, and his base damage is higher anyway, and also he has a plus damage item on. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Do I want to do Caltrops over, like, Come Hither? Yeah, I think so. The debuff from the Caltrops actually is meaningful. And Dudley's all skilled up. Tullus is all skilled up. I don't think I want Suffer. I don't think I want Reclaim either. Delayed healing is so sketchy. There are a lot of situations where somebody needs to be healed right now. That's like the... Alright, so we have Herbert's heal, which is unreliable but powerful. Tullis's heal, which is unreliable but powerful. And Dudley's heal, which is weak but totally reliable, and it has some bonus stuff attached to it. I don't know. I'm nervous. Because if we lose this one, we're at 11 of 16 deaths. If we lose this one, probably the game is over. Alright, so what is your trinket? Your stun chance is already very high, but with this cauldron, it would be very, very high. Gives him plus debuff application chance. Keep in mind the mark always applies, but the dodge has a chance to be resisted. I don't think the cauldron's right. This item's just not good enough. So what do we want to give him? Yeah, actually, that seems pretty reasonable. Screw these dudes. Screw these eldritch dudes. The other thing we might roll with is like... Nah. And this has no downside at all. Why is his HP screwed? Oh, because he's a vampire. Yep. His HP is screwed up because he's a vampire. It's a common situation. Seems to be a problem we're having a lot lately. And then you, as you are unable to take on a torch, we could go like Berserk Charm. Speed plus damage is pretty good. I don't super want him to stress out. Like, there's a point at which we're taking on too much stress. Even though his stress response is not that big of a deal, I don't want him to have, like, heart attacks over and over and over again, which is something I'm concerned about. We could give him this. He could take minus 20% bleed resist, but even with that, and the fact that the Crimson Curse is reducing his bleed resist, he's still at 100%, and if you compare that to everybody else, it's actually pretty good. So we could do that. Applying his bleeds is pretty important. 140%. 140%. So this takes it up to 175. They're very unlikely to miss. And that's, I mean, that is damage, right? It's a smoothing of the damage curve. And then we could just give him the Coven Signet, right? This feels wrong. It feels bad not to give him, like, accuracy and damage. We give him an Eldritch Slayer's Ring and has very little downside. His impact damage is not spectacular. So just raw buffing his impact damage feels not awesome. Improving his crit is significant. These enemies are tough enough that that this will matter. They'll actually take 3 ticks from the bleed and still be alive. Now, applying his bleeds more reliably is a big deal. That bleed is 18 points of damage. I don't love this, but it has almost no downside. Don't we have another trinket that makes people bleed? No, that's right. I didn't keep it because we have this, and I don't care about the bleeds quite as much on other characters. Okay, well then I think this actually may be it. Minus 25% stress. And then everybody else has a talisman to keep them from being stressed in the most obvious ways. You gotta watch Dudley a little bit. Dudley's prone to getting stressed out, but Dudley can bring self-medicate into the dungeon, which actually doesn't help as much as I remember. It's only minus 10 stress, huh? Alright, what's everybody else's camping stuff look like? Dark Ritual is actually maybe important. Let's go ahead and learn that. I would like to not have to use Dark Ritual, but maybe we have to use Dark Ritual. I'm also going to make sure we have Encourage on everybody. Oh, you will not need this, I assume. I mean, let's buy it, I guess. There's no sense not having him have 4 traits. We want planned takedown. We're definitely gonna use that. Scouting chances, not really that important. So we'll do that as his 4th skill, and you have all your stuff. Okay. And those actually applied. Right now, these look pretty sensible. Okay, I think we're ready, man. Don't feel great about it, but this is a very aggressive team. We have good damage over time effect removal. We do a lot of damage. We have many sources of healing, although most of them are not reliable. And our damage should be great. That's really what we need. And we have a fair number of stuns. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for today. Sorry to tease you. Come back next time. We're heading back down into the darkest dungeon, and honestly, if this doesn't go right, it might be the end. And we'll see you then.